Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great. I am Neha Rajvanshi and I welcome you all in today's class, that is English class of class 9th. So students, in the previous video we have completed reading with our poem number 8 and the name of the poem is On Killing a Tree. Okay, so I am very much sure that the poem is clear to you all. The explanation part and all the literary devices that we have discussed, everything is clear to you all. And in today's video we will see the comprehension part, we will solve the questions, but first of all we will see the summary of the poem so that one more time we can revise the central idea, or we can say the theme of the poem. So let's begin with the summary of the poem. Okay, in the poem On Killing a Tree, the poet has symbolized the killing of a tree as the killing of a human being. So in the poem we have read that in the poem On Killing a Tree, the poet is symbolizing the killing of a tree with the killing of a human being. Okay, so the poet wanted to convey this message that all the trees, okay, they are just like human beings. When we kill a tree, when we cut a tree, it means they also feel the same pain as we human beings feel. The poet tries to evoke sensitivity in the mind of the readers towards killing a tree, and with the help of this poem the poet actually wanted to evoke some kind of sensitivity, some kind of emotional attachment in the minds of the readers towards killing a tree. The poet says that a tree grows after the consumption of sunlight, air and water for so many years, so it is difficult to kill a tree. And in the poem later on, the poet is saying that how a tree finally develops into a into a very big and huge tree. So a tree grows very slowly, gradually, and how it has a consumption of sunlight, air and water for so many years, and finally it develops into a fully grown tree. So it is very difficult to kill a tree. Cutting and chopping of a tree is not enough to kill it. So the poet is saying that if you are having this kind of idea that you will be able to kill a tree just to chop it, just to cut it, then let me clear all your doubts. It is not at all possible. It will heal and regrow to its size again, because if you cut a tree, okay, then it will heal, okay, it will recover, and very soon it will grow to its formal size one more time. Nature has this power or ability to grow again, because this is nature and this is the power of nature, that it can regrow, it can heal with all the wound, and it can regrow to its former size again. Then the poet suggests how a tree can be killed. After that, in the next stanza, the poet was presenting this idea that how can we kill a tree. If we really want to kill a tree, then what should we do? That thing is presented by the poet. In order to kill a tree, it has to be uprooted. So what is the solution? How can we kill a tree? So in the poem the poet was saying that if we really want to kill a tree, then we have to uproot it, right? जो इसकी roots and that is under the earth, under the ground. So उन roots को हमें uproot करना पड़ेगा, उन roots को हमें बाहर निकालना पड़ेगा, pull out करना पड़ेगा. One has to separate the tree from the earth that supports it, okay? And in order to kill a tree, we have to separate the tree from the earth, from the soil that actually supports the tree. Once the tree has been uprooted, then gradually it withers and dries up. The tree will dry and bend out of shape, and when finally we are able to pull out the roots of the tree from the earth, then slowly, gradually it will wither, it will dry, it will harden, it will twist, okay, and finally it will bend out of shape. Finally the tree will die, and after all these process, finally the tree will die. Finally we will be able to kill a tree. The poet wants to create an awareness and emotional feelings in the heart and mind of the readers that tree also feels pain. And what is the purpose of this poem? What is the message of this poem? With the help of this poem, the poet actually wants to create a kind of awareness, a kind of emotional feelings in the heart and minds of the readers. And what is that awareness? That trees also feels pain. They have a strong bond or connection with the soil, and the poet wanted to say that trees, they are having a very strong connection, a very strong bond with the soil, with the earth. When we cut a tree, it bleeds just as human beings do, right? And in the poem we have read this thing that when we cut a tree, then they also bleeds just like we human beings do. We should respect and protect the nature and the natural beauties and should not harm the nature. So this is the message says that always we should respect, we should protect the nature, we should respect all the natural objects, all the natural beauties, and we should never ever harm our nature. Okay, so this is the summary of the poem. I hope that you all are able to have the meaning or to have the explanation of this poem. Okay, now let's start with the questions. So let's see the question first. Can a simple jab of the knife kill a tree? Why not? So in this question we have to tell first of all that a simple jab of the knife. Okay, so is this enough to kill a tree? And if our answer is no, then we have to tell the reason that why not, right? No, a simple jab of the knife cannot kill a tree. So our answer is that no, with the help of a simple jab knife we won't be able to kill a tree. A tree takes many years to grow to its full size by absorbing sunlight, air and water. Now we are explaining the reason, that what is the reason that a simple jab of knife is not at all enough to kill a tree. So the reason is that a tree takes so many years to grow to its full size, okay, by absorbing, by consuming the sunlight, air and water. The roots of the tree grow deep and hold it firmly in the soil, right? और जो ट्री की रूट्स होती हैं वो क्या होती हैं? They grow deep under the ground, under the soil, okay, and they hold it firmly in the soil. So only a chop cannot kill the tree because it will slowly heal up and grow to its original shape and size. Okay, so if we are chopping, if we are cutting a tree, then this is not at all enough, because it will heal up, it will recover, and then it will grow to its original shape and size, right? Because we can cut a tree but the tree, it is still alive because उसके जो roots हैं they are under the ground, they are under the earth. Okay, और जो tree हैं they are the source of its strength. जब तक हम ना रूट्स को बाहर नहीं निकालेंगे, जब तक हम रूट्स को डैमेज नहीं करेंगे, डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं करेंगे, तब तक तो जो ट्री है इट हैज़ द एबिलिटी, इट हैज़ द पावर टू रीग्रो अगेन. ओके, सो द पोएट वांटेड टू से दैट इफ यू रियली वांट टू किल अ ट्री देन यू हैव टू डिस्ट्रॉय द रूट्स बिकॉज दे आर द सोर्स ऑफ द स्ट्रेंथ फॉर अ ट्री. ओके, सो जस्ट टू कट अ ट्री, जस्ट टू चॉप अ ट्री इज नॉट एट ऑल इनफ टू किल अ ट्री. Next question, how has the tree grown to its full size? List the words suggestive of its life and activity. So in this question we have to tell first of all that how has the tree grown to its full size? What is the procedure that we can say seeds turn to a fully developed tree. Next we have to list some of the words from the poem that are suggestive of its life and activity. Okay, so we have to pick out some words from the poem. So let's see the answer. The tree grows to its full size by consuming nourishment from the earth's crust and absorbing sunlight, water and air for several years. Okay, so this process we all have read, we all know this process, that is photosynthesis. Okay, so we can say that a tree grows to its full size by consuming nourishment, right, from the earth's crust, and it also needs sunlight, water and air, and that too for many years. Okay, the words suggestive of the tree's life and activity that are in the poem. So now we can list some of the words. So they are grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water and sprouting leaves. So these are the words to show the process that how a small plant finally turns into a fully developed tree. Next question, what is the meaning of bleeding bark? What makes it bleed? So in this question, first of all, we have to explain this phrase, that is bleeding bark. So what bleeding bark means, and next we have to tell that what is the thing that makes it happen. So let's see the answer. Bleeding bark refers to seeping of the sap-like substance from a part of the tree trunk where it has been hit with the axe. Okay, so what is bleeding bark? Bleeding bark refers to the seeping of the sap-like substance. Okay, so sap is a kind of liquid, it is a kind of fluid that is there inside the trees. Okay, and when we hit a tree, when we cut a tree with the help of any knife, axe or any sharp object, then we can see this sap, this liquid, and this liquid flows out from the tree trunk. Okay, so this event is regarded as a bleeding bark. Clear? The tree is said to bleed when it is chopped, hacked or jabbed at, okay. And when this thing happened, so you know a tree is said to bleed when it is chopped, when it is hacked or when it is jabbed at. Here the poet wants to convey a message that just like the human beings feel pain and start to bleed when cut, trees also feel pain when cut or chopped, okay. And why the poet is using this phrase bleeding bark for that substance, that is sap? So the reason is that you know the poet, he actually wanted to convey a message. And what is the message? The message is that you know like we human beings, we feel pain, okay. And you know when we start to bleed, whenever there is a cut or wound on our body, so similar thing happens with the trees. Trees also feel pain and they also you know starts to bleed like sap like substance whenever they are cut, whenever they are chopped, okay. So this is the message. Next question. The poet says no in the beginning of the third stanza. What does he mean by this? So in this question we have to tell that you know the reason that why the poet he is using this word no in the beginning of the third stanza, okay. So what is the reason, what is the purpose of the poet when he was using this word no in the beginning of the third stanza, that we have to write here. So let's see the answer. The poet has said no to lay emphasis on the fact that mere chopping or hacking would not kill the tree, okay. So what is the purpose of the poet, that he was using this word no in the beginning of the third stanza? So the poet he actually you know he continues with the same idea that was there in the first and second stanza, okay. So in the first and second stanza of the poem we have read that the poet was having this idea that if we are cutting a tree, if we are chopping a tree, then also we will not be able to kill a tree, right? So he is using this word no just to lay emphasis on the fact that mere chopping or hacking would not kill the tree. Clear? It would grow again and retain to its original size. Next in that stanza the poet was explaining this thing that you know the tree, it will grow again, it will heal, okay, and then it will retain its original size. Next question. What is the meaning of anchoring earth and earth caves? In this question again we have to explain these phrases. The first phrase is anchoring earth. So what it means, anchoring earth, and second phrase is earth cave. So we have to explain both the phrases. So let's see the answer. First let's see anchoring earth. So anchoring earth means that the earth protects the tree by holding it firmly by its roots, just like an anchor holds a ship firmly to the bottom of a sea, okay. So first of all earth is regarded as anchor. Why? Because it means that the earth protects the tree by holding it firmly, okay, by the roots, okay. And just like an anchor does, because an anchor holds a ship very firmly to the bottom of the sea, okay. So we all have seen anchor. So जो anchor जो job करता है, right, the same job is done by the roots of the tree, because with the help of the roots the earth is able to hold the tree very firmly, very strongly, okay. So this is the reason it is regarded as anchoring earth. Next is earth cave. So what it means? Earth cave refers to the deep area under the ground that holds the roots and keeps the tree standing tall and protects it from adversity such as heavy rainfall or storm. So earth cave refers to the deep area, okay, area in which there are the roots, okay, because this is the area that helps the tree and keeps the tree standing tall and protects it from all the adversities such as heavy rainfall and storm. It represents the empty space under the earth that is caused due to the pulling out of the roots. And why it is regarded as earth cave? Because you know when we will pull out all the roots of that tree, then there will be one empty space, then there will be one blank space. So that empty space is regarded as earth cave, because you know it means there will be one kind of cavity when we will pull out all the roots from that space. So there will be one blank space, one empty space. So that space is regarded as earth cave. Clear? Next question. What does he mean by the strength of the tree exposed? So in this question again we have to explain this phrase, that what the poet means when he was using this phrase, that is the strength of the tree exposed. So let's see the answer. The strength of the tree lies in its roots. Thus the phrase the strength of the tree exposed refers to the roots of the tree being exposed to sunlight and air after pulling the tree out of the ground. So as we have read in the poem, that the roots of the trees, they are regarded as the strength of the tree. Okay, thus the phrase the strength of the tree exposed refers to the roots of the tree being exposed where? To sunlight and air after pulling the tree out of the ground, right? So in the poem we have read that the poet was saying that when we will pull out all the roots of the tree, okay, from the ground, then they will exposed to sunlight, they will exposed to air. This would ultimately lead to the death of the tree, and this is the actually process, okay, that how we can kill a tree and ultimately it will lead to the death of the tree. Clear? Next question, what finally kills the tree? So in this question we have to tell that what is the thing that will be able to kill a tree finally. So let's see the answer. The tree is finally killed by pulling out of the mother earth. When its roots are exposed to sunlight and air, the tree begins to get scorched and choked. Okay, so ये जो process है that how we can kill tree, it starts when we pull out the roots of the trees from the mother earth. Okay, because your roots हैं, they are the source of the strength, they are the most sensitive yet the most important part of the tree. So when we pull out all the roots and now the roots, they are exposing to sunlight, they are exposing to air, then gradually they will start to scorch, they will start to choke, then they will twist, they will dry, they will harden, they will turn into brown color. It then starts withering, okay, then it becomes brown, dry and hard, and eventually it dies, and finally it will die, and then finally we will be able to kill a tree, right? So this is the process, and this process starts with pulling out the roots of the tree, okay, and when we will pull out the roots, okay, and when they will be having sunlight, air, right, and they will lack the water, the nourishment they used to get from the soil, from the earth, then gradually they will dry, they will turn into brown color, they will twist, they will become hard, and gradually they will die, right? So this is the process. So students, we have completed all the questions here. I hope the poem explanation part, the literary devices and all the question answers, everything is clear to you all, and the message that the poet actually wanted to convey with the poem, that message is clear to you all, okay? And from now on you will never ever harm any tree, you will never ever harm any natural beauty, any natural object, and always you will respect, you will protect all the natural beauties, okay? So in the next video we will start reading with our next chapter. So see you in the next video. Thank you.